After electromagnetic induction, the next article is 12.9, which is induction and energy transfer. For that, two diagrams I have drawn on the board. This is figure number 1. Figure 1, and the second figure is also drawn on the board, this one. Here, let us first consider figure number 1. In figure number 1, I have represented a coil, rectangular coil, A, B, C, D. This is ABCD is a loop, or you can say a rectangular coil, which is kept in a magnetic field. B is the magnetic field in which this coil is placed. The direction of this magnetic field is directed into the plane of the board, like this. It is perpendicular to the plane and directed into the plane of the board. Here, if you consider the sides AB and DC, as well as AD and BC, these are four sides of the loop. Out of that, the force or velocity acting on the side BC is V, and it is directed towards right. We are pulling this coil out of the magnetic field. Here, let small l or capital L be the length of the coil, the distance AD, and x is the distance DC, this breadth of the coil. So, L and x will represent the length and breadth of the rectangular coil. Here, due to this magnetic field, there are different forces acting on the coil. The force F1 is acting on the side AD of the loop, while the force F2 is acting on the side AB of the loop, and the force F3 is acting on the side DC of the loop. Out of these three forces, F1, F2 and F3, these two forces F2 and F3 are equal and opposite, and therefore they will cancel each other. Only the force acting on the coil is F1, and that opposes the motion of this loop ABCD, which is pulled to the right. If you want to refer figure number 2, in which I have represented a resistance. This is a collective resistance in the circuit. Small I represent the current, its direction is in a clockwise direction. Here the induced EMF is also in the same direction in which the current is flowing. Here small I represents induced current, small e represents induced EMF, and capital R represents collective resistance. Now, if you want to find out the power in the circuit, power is the rate of doing work. Work upon time is power. But the work done is the product of force and displacement. Here, D represents displacement of the coil. F is the force applied to the coil in order to pull the coil out of the magnetic field, and T is the time. So, work done is the product of force and displacement. Out of that, displacement upon time is velocity. So I have replaced d by t by v. Therefore, the power comes out to be P. This is a scalar given by F vector dot v vector. This is a dot product here. Force and velocity is a dot product here. Call this as equation number 1. Now, if you want to have a motional EMF in a rotating bar, if you, instead of considering a loop, if you consider a rotating bar in a magnetic field, for that case, this is a different case in which the equation gets modified like this. dE is equal to B dr, where B is the magnitude of magnetic induction, V is the velocity, and dr is the displacement of the coil. D represents a small induced EMF. If you want the total induced EMF, E, which is integration of dE, substitute the value of dE from this equation. So integration of dV dr, out of which B can be taken written as it is, while V equal to R omega, where omega is angular velocity of the rotating bar and V is the linear velocity. So I have replaced V by omega R, where omega is constant and it is angular velocity of the rotating bar. Out of these, B and omega are constant which are taken outside the integration. B omega integration of R dr, limits of integration from 0 to L, where L is the length of this rotating bar. Therefore, if you simplify this integration, it comes out to be R square by 2, but R will have maximum value L, that means L square by 2. Final equation for induced EMF in the case of the rotating bar will be E is equal to 1/2 B omega L square, where B is magnitude of magnetic induction, omega is angular velocity with which the bar is rotating in a clockwise direction, and L is the length of the bar.